Hi, this is Jen Eskridge from the Quilty Quill, and I'm going to show you how to set an Irish chain quilt block for custom quilting. The first thing I did there was click the area tab, and now I'm using the small diamond icon to make a multi-point area around this negative space on my Irish chain quilt. When I do this, I'm only looking at the quilt itself. I don't even need to look at the screen. If I hear the bell ring, I know that an anchor point has been placed on my area to outline the shape. But of course, since it's video, you can kind of glance up there and see in real time how the area is forming. When I hit the button, there's my thumb hitting the button, and my area is almost complete to set in my custom quilt block. So to do this, here's my area. I'm going to go to File in the upper left corner here. Go to File and Design and navigate to your folder. I have a whole folder of just Irish chain blocks right here. I'm on the Rory block, so I'll click that and add it. It doesn't matter if it went to your crosshairs or anywhere on your screen. You just click it and drag it roughly to where that area is. Now, using the Modify tab, we're going to focus on Reposition, Resize, and Rotate. Each of these gives you a lot of functionality to move the block just a hair. This is the nudge feature and Reposition. So I'm just scooching it 1/10 of an inch. The Rotate tab lets me rotate only 5% of a degree. And the Resize is also moving my block increased in size. But do make sure when you do the Resize, you have the horizontal and vertical dimensions locked. And then once you have it where you like, you can come to the center of your block, or you don't even have to come to the center, the machine will move itself. But I did pull up my quilt threads right there. Now I'm going to go to Pro Stitcher and click Run. And all of this is in real time, it's not sped up. So really the longest part of this video, we already did the setup part, right? To set the block in place, was about 1 minute to fiddle with it to make sure it fits with inside the area line. And then for a total of about 3 minutes, it's just the block stitching. So it's going to be stitching here on the video while I tell you about those quilt blocks that you saw in my Irish chain folder. Those are all for sale at the Quilty Quill Etsy shop. It's a huge collection, a 30-piece sampler of Irish chain quilt blocks that you can use on any of the traditional Irish chain quilt patterns you may already own. This quilt pattern that I am stitching here is based on a 6-inch square, so if that helps you plan your quilt project, it is a 6-inch square with also 2.5-inch squares cut for that little checkerboard portion. I'm just going to zoom in so we can see a little bit better. I mean, this is the meat of the video, is the 3 minutes, since it's all in real time. I just wanted to make sure you guys could see how to use the Irish chain blocks and to know that the custom quilting, it's not as hard as people, I think, assume that it is. In a lot of cases, it's easier than edge to edge because you're not having to nest something and make sure you advance the quilt and make sure the rows are right. You really just make one area or one space if you're using a different robotic system, but you just make the space for the block to fit into, squish the block in using some modification tools, and then hit run. And it creates a really stellar, very custom looking design. So let's just let this finish out here real quick. And of course, the link to the Etsy shop for the Quilty Quill will be in the description below, as well as the link to the Quilty Quill's Facebook and Instagram groups. All right, we're coming to the end here. This block was made by myself in Pro Stitcher Designer. And of course, the Quilty Quill has a lot of tutorials for that software as well. So when we get to the end, the very last step will be to clip the threads. So I'll go in order here the way I would normally do it. So I'm going to clip the threads and then I'll show you the big step to get ready to do your next custom quilting block. you'll go to File, and then navigate to the tab Clear All, and then restart this video. That's it. You've just custom quilted a whole block. Here's a quick little preview of all of the blocks from that Irish chain collection. It really is something to look at. All right, I hope you'll join me at the Quilty Quill. See you there.